The number one reason I found that most people can't make the type of money they want to make in their business is because they don't look at the numbers. They're not strategic enough where they know, okay, these are the numbers that I need to have, or they don't reverse engineer their goals to say, okay, this is the number that I want to reach. Whatever number you're at right now, it could be 0 or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, it doesn't matter, right? But let's say you want to add X amount of dollars to your revenue and you want to use it doing paid ads. But when people make that decision, they don't have anybody to brainstorm and say, okay, well, what does that actually look like? How do I do that? How do I add an extra 20K a month on top of my bottom line, or X amount of dollars using this paid ad strategy? So what I'm going to show you is, if you want to use paid ads and you say, most people when they come and they want to use it, they say I don't have the time, the energy, the know-how, I don't have the patience to learn it. So they'll come to our agency, and one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to break down the numbers. They'll say, okay, I want to make X amount of dollars per month, or I want to add X amount of dollars to our revenue. And we're going to break down the numbers and say, okay, well, let's look at a few things first. And the reason that this is important is because it's very hard to scale your business and generate revenue consistently if you don't have a system. You need a proven system and a strategy that works like clockwork in order for you to generate revenue. When I was struggling to make, and I was making my first few $100s per month, I was only making a couple $1,000s per month. The biggest challenge that I had was everything was too random in the business, right? And I'm gonna give you two sides of the story. So everything was super random in the business. So sometimes I worked on a business, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I did certain things that worked and the marketing worked and we got leads, and sometimes we didn't. There was dry spells, there was good times, there was bad times, but most of the time there was never any level of consistency. A lot of it was based on how I felt. It was based on my attitude. It was based on what was going on around me in my life. And all of that fluctuated the amount of impact and amount of revenue and clients that I had. So that was one issue. On the flip side, let's say you're already generating X amount of dollars. You could be making 7 figures right now. It doesn't matter, right? But you're in a place where whatever you're doing is working for you right now, whatever that is. Like, I know people who work with our agency that they have generated their revenue through organic content. They have generated their revenue through live events or whatever, right? But now they're saying, okay, I want to on top of what we're already doing, I want to leverage this paid advertising because I know if we bring X amount of leads in, or we bring X amount of people through the door, that's going to convert into X amount of sales, extra 10, 20, 30K a month of revenue. So they're willing to put the money down for advertising because they know they're going to get a multiple return in the end. But a lot of times it's just like I mentioned, they don't have the time, the energy, the effort, the money. Some people may not have the money to do it, or it just kind of depends, right? But if you are generating any kind of revenue, it's definitely going to be important to start running these advertisements, but you got to do it correctly if you want to make, let's say, like an extra 20K per month. So that's what we're talking about today. So this is what this looks like. This looks like a couple based on my experience. So one of the first things that really works is you want to focus on, and by the way, if you love this already, just go give this some love, give this some likes. I want to show you, I want to be able to shower you with love today. All right, so go ahead and just go ahead and put I'm ready. Go ahead and give this some likes. And by the way, we are streaming on all major platforms. So if you want to tag somebody in this, or if you want to share somebody in this, feel free to do so. That is why I do this free. All right, I'm doing it free because I want to help more entrepreneurs, and I want to help more people who may not be in a position to learn this stuff, or maybe they don't have a coach, or they don't have an agency or somebody they're working with right now that really cares about them winning. And obviously, we care about you winning, right? So anyhow, that's why we do this. So this is what this looks like. So let's say you want to add this, you want to add this to your profit, your revenue. This is what this looks like. First, we got to look at your offer and your program. So if I'm working with you, I need to look at what you're selling. If you're saying, I want to add and or make 20K per month in my business, or add an extra additional 20K per month, the first thing we got to look at is, what are you offering? If you saying, Terrell, I want to make, I'm making 10K in my business right now per month, I want to make an extra 20K. I look at the product you're offering, and you're selling ebooks. So you're selling something that's low, super low ticket, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, $100, which you gotta, or not even $100 a month. I mean, like, all right. So for this process, you definitely don't want to go low ticket, right? You thinking about e-commerce, you might be looking at a different realm, but I'm talking to my service-based business owners right now. You don't want to be selling something that is one-off, right? And also like an ebook, somebody buys it one time and that's it. And you don't also want to be selling something that's just super, super low ticket because you got to sell a lot of it, like maybe like a digital course for $97, something like that, right? Because guess what? There's no recurring value to it. You need something to where you can spend the same amount of time or less time advertising and marketing, but you get a huge return. If I'm going to spend, so let's say we have service-based businesses, right? If I'm going to send you people and you're going to be on the call, let's just say you spend 5 hours a week having conversations with people who could potentially be clients. If you're going to spend 5 hours per week, and let's just say each call is an hour. So let's say you're going to be on a call with 5 leads per week for your business. If you're going to spend that time with people, would you rather spend that time with them and offering them a product to make $100 at the end of the 5 hours per week, or the potential to make $2,000 or $5,000, right? So let's say if you got a $5,000 program, and it doesn't matter what the terms are, right? You could months or a year, whatever. It doesn't matter what the term is. But let's just say you have a $5,000 program versus a $100 item that you're selling. Now, let's just say your closing percentage is, let's just say your closing percentage is, 1 out of 5, right? Let's say 1 out of 5 is your closing. Guess what? 1 out of 5 is your closing. You're speaking to 5 people a week. So at the end of a month is how much? How much is that? Let's just say it's 4 weeks in a month. You made $20,000, right? It's pretty dope. You got 5 leads. You utilize the 5 available hours you have in your business. Those 5 available hours you use to speak to 5 people converted into 1 out of 5. So you have a 20% conversion percentage from people who became leads into clients. And if you do that 4 weeks out of the year, you just got 4 weeks out of the month, you just got 4 clients. 4 clients at $5,000 is how much? Ding, 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 is $20,000. You just made $20,000 in additional revenue. This is why pricing is important. Now let's use the other example. The other example is, let's say you're selling something for $100 and you're spending that same amount of time contacting and interacting with people to sell a $100 thing. With those same percentages at the end of the month, how much you made? $400. I'm just going to let that sit. I'm going to let that sit with you for a second, because I want you to see how important pricing is. Same amount of time, the same 20 hours per month is invested in the business. Entrepreneur A versus entrepreneur B, both spent $20. Both spent 20 hours in their business. Both spent 20 hours in their business doing the right things, because we can have a whole separate conversation about doing the actual right activities in your business. I was spending a lot of time on logos and colors, years in my website, and wasn't making any money because my time wasn't even allocated in the right place. But now let's just say your time is allocated in the right place. So you got person A, I think we said this is A, right? And then person B, and this person is making $20K a month because they're selling a $5,000 service. So they just got 4 clients per month. And this person also got 4 clients. Don't get that twisted. They also got 4 clients and or customers. But the only problem is they forgot to price it in a way where they give more value. They forgot to give more value. They forgot to increase the price. So because they didn't do that, they only made $400. That's a big difference. $20K a month versus $400 a month is a big difference, right? So that's why the very first thing, if you want to add more revenue, you want to add, 6 figures, you want to have a 6-figure year or multiple 6-figure year in business, the very first thing you need to do is look at what you're selling. And if you're not selling something that's higher ticket, usually higher ticket is anything above $2,000 or more, then I would be asking myself, well, how can I make this more valuable and so I can charge more? If I wanted to charge 10x the price, how can I 10x the value? And start with that first, because once you start with that, everything else could fall into place, because now that's the first thing. So then the next thing we can do now is we can say, okay, well, who is best in the market to want this offer that you're giving them? Who's the best in the market? Most of the time we're not sending people directly to your offers. We're giving away like a lead magnet or some type of resource people are going to want. So then the next question is, well, who's most going to want that resource? Right? So then that's the next thing we're focused on. And then once we have that, okay, well, what's the messaging in the imagery that they're most going to be receptive to? A lot of this is dealing with experimentation and seeing what people are going to want, what people don't want. And then from there, you're going to get a certain amount of leads, a certain amount of opt-ins. People are going to click and go to a landing page. This landing page is where people are going to actually opt in. If this is making sense, because sometimes I might be going fast, but you could like rewatch this. We keeping this up, so I keep this up for you, right? So if this makes sense, go ahead and put "makes sense" in the chat, because this is very important to understand. If you don't understand this business model, or if you don't understand this strategy, you will not have a proven system that's going to generate you something like 20K a month. So what I'm teaching you is the proven system that works for a fact. Not just with us, but with we post. You follow me. You see me post testimonials all the time. This is the exact same process that I go through with all of our clients. So then they go to the landing page. They opt into the landing page. Once they opt into the landing page, you're going to have a certain percentage of leads. Now, I don't know what your closing percentage is or your converting percentage is. It depends on how long you've been in business, how well you know your product or service, how well you're able to explain it, how confident you are, how many like testimonials, how much proof you have, but everybody who offers a product and service, if you do a well enough job and you give the person that you're speaking to enough confidence, they'll be with it. But obviously, the more longer you're in business, the more successful you are, the more money you make. It is what it is. People like to do business with people that are already successful. It is what it is. So just realize that where you're at today and where you're going to be at in a year from now, 5 years, 10 years from now, people will want to do business with you more the longer you're in business, right? I've been in for a little over 10 years. People want to do more business with me today than they did 10 years ago. So you just have to understand that that's part of the nature of business and what we do. So, which is fine, but you can generate this revenue along the way. So as you get leads, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that you're having these conversations and seeing what they need, seeing how you can help, and just being a real person and seeing how you can serve and give and what they need and how you can be of help. And if they're a good fit for your service, let them know they're a good fit and why, and share with them why it makes sense. And if they're not a good fit for your service, you have to keep it 100 and be real. I don't think this is a good fit. I've turned many, many, many people away before. I'm not trying to just get anybody. I'm trying to get quality people that I know is really going to do the work, quality people that really want to take this serious, and I want to help. And I don't twist anybody's arm. I want people who already see the value. If I got to convince you how important marketing and advertising your business is, you're already not the right fit for me. Because my job is not to convince. I already know it works. People have been marketing and advertising their business for hundreds of years before me, and they're going to be doing it hundreds of years after me. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we already know it's proven. We already know it works. And all of the biggest and most successful and best businesses market and advertise their business. They pay money to put in dollars to get a higher return back, to get the exposure or whatever they want. So we already know this works. So if I got to convince you of that, you got to get that belief first and then come back to me and say, all right, I know it works. It's just really about, let's see how we can make it work. Let's see, this is my situation. Okay, how can we make this work for my situation? Right? Okay, I like you. I rock with you. I want to work with you. I see that you have the expertise. Right? It's more about that conversation. It's not about whether it works or not. So those are the type of people that you want to find. And those are the type of people that we attract, with your ads. Now, with that being said, once you get the leads in, then it's about really offering them, for the people who are fit, offering them your product or service. And then you'll get a certain percentage of people that want to solve that problem. And if you do a good job for them, once they enroll and you actually start getting them results, not only are you going to get testimonies, not only are you going to get people that are happy, but you're going to get them staying longer with you, right? So that's how that $20,000 a month will increase. So remember, we said we get one client every, if you get a new client every week, but you got to realize that these folks they might buy other products and services from you. They're going to stay with you for a long time. They're going to renew contracts. They're going to refer people. So there's a lot of benefits that happen that once even they come in, you take good care of them and you get them good results. If that makes sense. Y'all get what I'm saying? If y'all loving this, go ahead and put OMG with some fire emojis. Say I'm glad I'm here. Go ahead and say I'm glad I'm here. So I'm showing you this is how you make 6 figures and multiple 6 figures. This is how you make something like 20K a month, right? You got to have, but so let's do a quick recap, right? And then I'll give you some resources. One, you want to make sure that you have a high ticket offer. If you need help with that, just reach out to me. We'll figure it out for you. That's one. Then we're going to focus on who are we targeting? Where can we find these people? Then we're going to focus on the creative and the imagery and the copy of what we're saying. And then we do experimentation to attract those people and attract the most people based on what we're saying and who we're targeting and what we're showing. When those people become leads, then we contact them. We have those conversations where you basically check the temperature of where people are at. Are they ready right now? Are they serious? Are these just people that's just kind of looking around, or are these people that they just looking for the right person to work with? They're looking for the right person to trust. They're looking for the person that they feel, maybe they've been burned a few times before by, other coaches or other service providers. And they're really just looking for somebody who does good business and that can really help them, and that they care more about a dollar just working with them, and they could get them results. You know what I'm saying? So you got people out here that's looking for it, but you got to make yourself available and you got to be able to communicate to them in that way. And if you're able to do that, then you'll be able to get higher ticket clients. And if it's valuable, like we talked about earlier, it's going to be a no-brainer. All right, so that's how you're going to be able to grow and build and scale your business. All right, is that helpful? Is this helpful? Go ahead and put gems. Give me some gems in the chat. Let me know if this is super, super helpful. And shout out to y'all. I'm excited. Shout out to Charles is in the building. Let's go. Charles Hunter is in the building, learning every day. That's what I'm talking about. So a couple things real quick. Number one, again, share this with somebody who needs help growing and expanding their business. We mostly we could work with e-commerce products, but we really specialize in service-based businesses. So if you have any kind of service-based business, that's what or any kind of professional services, that's what we specialize in. Obviously, y'all know I come from the world of coaching, speaking. So anybody who needs to package and monetize their expertise, but any kind of service-based business, it could be a therapy business. It could be, anything where you're really servicing people, and getting leads for your business is important. So any business that requires leads is going to be good. All right. So with that being said, that's one thing. Tag and share this. Second, if we are actually releasing a new course, so I hope you guys are excited. So this Friday, we're going to be releasing a course that's called the Paid Ads Masterclass. As of right now, it is complimentary, but it will not stay like that. But if you want access to it, just go ahead and put Ads Masterclass, and we will make sure to get you access to the free course that teaches the strategy on how we do all of this behind the scenes. If you're in a position where you want to get help with this, or you want our agency to run ads for you, and you want to get coaching from me, then there's no guarantee, but you can apply and we can have a conversation. So with that being said, just go ahead and put Ads Agency below. And then I'll get you on my calendar, and we can, at a minimum, have a discussion about it to see if you're a good fit or not. All right. So with that being said, just continue to be great. But for everybody else, I'm glad you're learning. Share this forward. Like this. Give this some likes. Share this with as many people as possible that you really care about. Like, don't hoard this information to yourself. I used to do that. I used to watch things and just like, oh my God, this person is great, or this content and this information is great, and I would just hoard it to myself. But I noticed that more people, I started to expand my network, and more people actually started liking me more people actually started to respect me, and more people started to view me as an expert because I knew the places to go to find the best content. So you can actually become an authority when you share great content as well. So share great content. Don't keep this, and plus I see all of the people who share my stuff and tag. If I keep seeing your name, don't be surprised if I give you a little extra help on the side. You know what I'm saying? Or we got something for you because you've been constantly sharing this. All right. But with that being said, continue to be great, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's work.